My name is Nima Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about how the case is falling apart and collapsing while while the state is sitting there and there's nothing they can do to stop it. They can't stop it. The case is falling apart. They understand that. They see it just like we see it. Everything else that they are doing, they are just deflecting. The bottom line is that they know what is happening. They see what is happening. They are aware. It's not like they don't see it. They are not dumb. They are not that stupid. But okay, we don't know why they force the issue. Now, there comes a point in a trial where it's no longer about winning. It's about surviving. And right now, this case is no longer standing strong. It's trying not to collapse, but the sand soil is damp. Okay, we are standing there by the beach where the waves keep coming. The waves keep coming. You know how it is there by the beach while you are standing there and then water keeps coming and then that is what is happening with the state case right now. That's exactly what is happening with the state case, and they know it, guys. They know it. They know it. It's not like they are stupid, these people. Now, let's connect everything. A photo that doesn't match the timeline, evidence that keeps evolving, a pattern that is full of inconsistencies. At first, these look like small issues, but now they are connecting. And when issues connect in court, they become something else, systematic doubt. Systemic doubt, that's what it is, okay? One doubt can be explained, guys. Two doubts can be managed. But when doubt starts multiplying, it spreads. It spreads across the case from one piece of evidence to another to the entire case, like cracks in a glass. And once that happens, you are no longer defending fact, you are defending credibility. That's what we said in the previous video, right? That's what we said. And things are not looking good. Oh, things are not looking good, Kesana, at this point, okay? Things are not looking good. Things are bad, and fortunately, the defense is there to make it worse. The defense is there making it worse. Now we are having a situation. Imagine being Judge Rata at this point in that courtroom. You are not asking things like, is there evidence? You are asking, can I trust the evidence? You are Judge Rata sitting there. You are asking yourself, can I trust the evidence? And that's where the most dangerous shift of it all comes from. Because once trust is shaken, even strong evidence starts to feel weak. By the way, the entire case never had strong evidence. By the way, the entire case was never, the entire case was never watertight to begin with. It was never watertight. And where we are right now, it's a point of no return. There's nothing that they can do. There is no the only media briefing that can end this is them saying, we've tried, we failed. No, these are not the right guys. Remember when they say, yeah, these are the right guys. We see here, the Abo Kharinel, there's going to be arrest here. We are still waiting for the arrest of Khumalo. Umar Combs still is not arrested, Umar Khumalo here, Kelly Khumalo, because they said they were expecting arrest of the mastermind. Well, all they did was to finger him as mastermind, and it ended there. We will do a video when it comes to that. We'll do a video when it comes to that. Now, there is a moment in every trial where recovery becomes almost impossible, not because there's no case, but because the confidence is gone. And once confidence is gone in court, every new piece of evidence is questioned, every witness is doubted, every move feels like damage. And for Ubaloyi, this is where we are. This is where we are. Whenever the chess game is hard, it has gotten into a stage whereby your move. Now, actually, at this point, you don't know whether was that Sibanda's move. Okay, we do see Sibanda says my move. Baloyi was like, my move, my move, my move. And then defense was like, oh, okay, let me move 3 up. That is how it is. Everything in that courtroom, it's bad. So now the real question is not what will happen next. The real question is, can this case of the state, can the state case recover from this? Because once a case starts collapsing, it doesn't make noise. It doesn't warn you. It just falls apart. And that is exactly what is happening here. Everything has fallen apart. And do you know when sugar and sand soil are mixed together, there's not even a strain that you can't even strain that the other from. No, if you are straining, the sand will come out, the sugar will come out. That's what is going on here. You know, when someone has cooked, it doesn't matter what they are, rice. Oh, they are trying to not is rice. When you put the potatoes, rice, onion, perhaps mixed veg, depends what you want to put in. You cook all of them together. And then when you are busy, ubonda payana, the only thing when you are you stay. The only thing that comes there, they are all together. They are all together. You can't take out the zambana. You can't take out the rice. You can't take out, like everything is together now. That is what is happening for Ubaloyi right now. Things are not looking good, man. He's even losing weight, or else it's my eyes. They're deceiving me. He's even losing weight, guys. It's bad. Shame, it's bad. I don't want to even lie. The entire situation is not okay because he should have stopped when the time allowed him. Right now, he pushed too far. That's what I can tell you. He pushed the entire situation too far. He pushed it too far, and there's no coming back. So I don't know how, I don't know what they can do to recover from this, but I don't see them coming back from it. Instead, they are sinking. They are sinking. It's not looking good. It's not looking. There is something else that we have learned in this case. Whenever the state is there doing whatever, leading something, be it their okay, when they were leading their case while the state, it was still the state case. You would, when the witness comes, you would sit there and be like, yo, 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 aibo. Early cross-examination. When the defense comes with cross-examination, you are like, where is that witness that was busy here? Where is that witness that was busy here? Aibo, you won't find the bloody witness, Kesan. You won't find the bloody witness, is nowhere to be found. Now they are doing things that you are like, but you were so sure. Others were getting angry when, like, there's a lot of things that we've seen here. There's a lot of things that we have learned in this case, guys. It's quite intriguing in the Bayakona. Nonetheless, all of that being said, the Senzo Meyiwa case is quite a bad reflection for the state. For NPA, for SEPS, for the judiciary at large, for the entire security what of South Africa. It's a bad look. I don't want to even lie. It is a bad look, guys. Things are not looking good. It's not okay. Nothing is okay when it comes to this case. Absolutely nothing. We've got the accused that have nothing to do with the crime, proven by their own cell phones, evidence, whatever, proven by a lot of things that now they are being framed. And it's bad. And then we've got the evidence from the state case, guys. It also proved the accused to be innocent. Remember when they dealt with the section 205 of accused number 3, it proved that accused number 3 was never near Mzamo section. Even if at some point during the day he was in Vosloorus, he moved away from Vosloorus in the afternoon. By 5 o'clock, he was in George Goch. By 5 o'clock, he was in George Goch. So I don't know. I don't know who came and said, I don't know who came first, whether it was Gininda. Who appointed Gininda? Who appointed Gininda? Because at this point, I believe we need an inquiry for this case, whereby someone needs to tell us who appointed Gininda and why they chose him. Why did they choose Gininda? And then they tell us why did they saw a need to put Gininda and say, you are going to deal with cold cases. We need to understand all of that. See, South Africa. How did Gininda's name made it to be where he is and having a so-called cold case unit? That is quite interesting. We need to know all of that, guys. We do, as South Africans. We actually do. We are owed that much. Because now we're having a Baloyi who are, but also, even if Baloyi can try and put Ugeninda under, throw Ugeninda under a moving train, one thing that I can tell you is that Ubaloyi will still have to answer. He is a prosecutor. When he was sitting down, going through all the evidence that was brought to him, what came to mind? Why does it rings bells for people that are not lawyers, but not him? For a seasoned official prosecutor, no, he is also to blame for the mess. He is also to blame for the mess. There is no way. Now, I want him to answer for also his part that he played. He needs to answer for his part that he played, because at this point, ngeke. Oh, angeke kaloku sana sihlale sithi jeqe sibe ngathi akwenzekanga yenzekile into, and it's a lot of things that happened. Do you understand? Let's talk with comment section. I want to hear your views. What are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Because my goodness. Oh my word, it's bad. It's bad. The state case collapsing in real time. People are watching and things are not looking good for anyone. Now, if you look at it, when you do a final breakdown or a breakdown of the Miwa trial, you will understand that it reveals a case under pressure, where multiple inconsistencies and shifting evidence may be creating serious doubt. And it's still the beginning, Gesan, because we are still on I choose number 2. We're not even on I choose number 3 yet. We are still on I choose number 2. What do you think is going to happen next when it comes to this case? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Me, I say the cookie is crumbling. The cookie is crumbling and the sand is getting full in that glass of days of our lives. What are your thoughts?